Good evening, campers. How are y'all doing tonight? All right, I dialed back. It's not 10 Russians right now, but I thought I had an open 10, but I didn't realize I was cracking a new 10 of early morning pipe. Peterson's, formerly Dunhill's. This is a pretty nice lighter English blend. Arguably, maybe a little more sensible for the guy that's still got the crud, but was just missing his English blends. But I did get some 10 Russians earlier. If that video is not up, it will be shortly. And it was a spiritual experience because I hadn't had any lats or orientals for a few days. It doesn't sound like a long time, but it seemed like a long time. Smoking it in my Savinelli Roma. I've screwed myself up. I've got the camera on the wrong side of this thing. That's why it seems weird, I guess. 673 KS Roma. Got that from Eddie Gray over at the Pipe Nook. This was my first actual Savinelli that I got. And I think I actually got it in reverse order. I think I got the Rossi after this one. You would think that I would have gotten the Rossi more affordable one first, but I think actually I liked this enough that while I didn't really want to jump in and buy another $100 nearly Savinelli, I figured I better have something else similar. And I love that little Rossi 320, so a Rubino. That is a fine smoking pipe for $55. But yeah, haven't had this for a while. I guess I didn't want to open a new 10. I completely forgot that I hadn't already, because I remember thinking, man, I bet it's going to be dried out, because I remember the last 10 that I did get a little crispy. I moved one over from the cellar pile and didn't realize I had not opened it. I tend to seal them pretty tight, so I just assumed I got it closed really good, but no. No matter. More rain falling. This is one of those, when I first started smoking, these weren't back out yet, so everything under the sun was compared to it, it seemed like, but I had no idea what they were talking about, so. In the end, I had a few blends that were very much compared to it. And when I finally got it, early morning pipe, I was like, well, it's really not like either of those. But I like it. And it is it's a lighter English blend, but sometimes that's nice. I did, the last 10 I smoked in the morning a lot of times with coffee, and it was a good morning smoke. It's a good evening smoke too. It's a good, I'm a bit under the weather smoke. I did pay a little bit for the 10 Russians later. Just a little bit. But, damn it, it was worth it. hear the highway way off in the. It's not really right here. It's quiet out, so you can hear it. Mostly trucks. Those are big old truck tires you're hearing out on the highway. Every once in a while, you might hear a train go by. I hardly hear them anymore. But most of the time, it's pretty quiet. Unless the neighbors are making noise, and I think everybody's in watching TV after dinner right now. So. Plus, it's going to swing back cold, so nobody's out tinkering with a Harley or anything cool like that. So, I mean, I could talk about early morning pipe, but I feel like there's 10,000 videos on early morning pipe that probably have it covered. It's a good light English. If you haven't tried it, you should. I could tell you a lot of stuff about it, but mostly what you need to know about it is it's light English and it's good and you should try it. Mostly what you should know about is having LE 673 is it's a really good pipe, and if you haven't tried one, you should try it. There is a Rubino, Rossi Rubino version too that's like $55. But it's a smooth finish, which does have a little bit harder edge. You may like that look. There's also the Rubino Antico, which is what's actually in stock right now at smokingpipes.com. And that's a sharp looking, that new finish is sharp. You see a little more grain through the new version of the finish. Same price. But because it's a smooth, you do see a little bit more of that hard corner than you will on the rusticated ones. And I really like, part of what I like about the way this pipe feels is that rustication. It's just got a good tactile, the shape and that together really are the, I don't think I could get this pipe in a smooth at this point, which is funny because when I started buying pipes, I didn't really like rustication. I found out pretty quick I didn't like really crappy rustication. I like nice rustication. And there's various versions of it. And I like pretty much most of them. I don't like really coarse or minimalistic machine rustic, the stuff you see on the really cheap basket pipes. Like, I'd rather have smooth than have bad rustication. And I like a sandblast, especially a nice deep blast. This one hasn't colored up much yet, but one of my Morgan Bones Arbutus. It's got some good grain and I don't know if you can catch it or not, but it's got a fairly deep blast on it. Enough that you definitely have a good texture on it. That one's a sitter model, which is pretty rare. Here's one that's a good example. Here's another Arbutus Morgan Bones. And that one, I think you can see it's got especially on this side, you got a really nice blast on that. Part of Arbutus's nature is that you get these wild craggy blasts out of it. And that's just something I enjoy about that. There's a few things I enjoy about Arbutus, and that's one of them. But trying to keep this one short. Just thought I'd check in with you guys. You guys have a good one? That's nice. Thought I'd have something interesting to say, but no, I'm just enjoying a pipe. Listening to the rain fall. I haven't had early morning pipe in probably at least the beginning of December, I would say, is probably about when that other 10 must have run out. probably have some of this in the morning with some good coffee. That was my little regiment for a while, and I just got out of it. I don't really know if I'd say it's Oriental forward. They're detectable and they're nice, but I can get the. I think part of what I like about this is I can get some of the nice Virginia notes that are in there. There's some various Virginias in there. I feel like there's a little bit of stoved. There's some red in there. I feel like there's at least 3, maybe 4 Virginias. There's at least 3 in there. And however they have that assorted, it's nice for this. A little bit of toast, but not too much. Just enough Latakia to kind of bring out a little bit of that English back note. And add a little smokiness, but not so much it's screaming at you. And y'all know I love the Latakia. But it lets you enjoy everything kind of all together in a fairly harmonious mixture without anything being too loud. So I see what they're saying on it, you know. I generally like big, bold flavors more. But, you know, first thing in the morning, it's hard to say with me. There's times I smoke Gaslight in the morning. So, I mean, but there for a long time, even if I had a second bowl late morning, this was my first bowl with some coffee. And sometimes now it's going to be Elizabethan. You know, if I'm in a mood for that, it's probably going to be that or a Scudo. I really like Elizabethan in the morning with coffee too. That reminds me, I need to crack open another 10 of that and seal it back and just kind of let it start mellowing a bit, because I got about a half a 10 left of the one that's open. And apparently if you open it, let it get a little air and seal it back, give it 3 or 4 weeks, that's like the magic, that's the magic mojo for Elizabethan. Or I guess I could just go ahead and jar it. I could be smart about it. I'll probably crack the 10 and wait a week and jar it. And I'll just smoke through the rest of this 10. I'm wanting to get to my Samuel Gallus skiff mixture again too, but man, I am enjoying this early morning pipe, so I'm going to continue on with it. No need for this to be a movie feature-length video. Warm pipe on a rainy night. Yes, yes. Hope you all have a lovely evening. The U.S. Piper out. Oop. Nope, I missed it. That's kind of embarrassing. Oops.